might think you're giving your golden retriever the happiest life possible. But what if I told you that some of the things you do every single day are quietly hurting them? I've met so many golden owners who truly adore their dogs, yet without realizing it, they're teaching habits that can actually shorten their lives. The saddest part: these mistakes come from love. Every hug, every treat, every playful moment, done with the best intentions, but sometimes teaching the wrong lessons. But don't worry, today we're going to fix that. You're about to discover 10 everyday habits that are quietly destroying your golden's happiness, and the simple changes that can help them live longer, calmer, and truly joyful lives. And mistake number 1. It's something 90% of owners do every single day, without even realizing it. Let's begin. Number 10. The treat trap. You open the pantry, and those big brown eyes are already watching you. One tilt of the head, one tiny tail wag, and suddenly your hand reaches for the treat bag. It feels good, doesn't it? That little crunch of the biscuit, that happy bounce of your golden's tail. But what if that sweet moment of love is slowly turning against them? Here's the thing: treats were never meant to replace nutrition or affection. They were meant to teach. Yet most of us, without realizing it, have turned treats into a love language. Every bark gets a snack. Every good boy ends with a bite. And day by day, the message becomes clear. If I want attention, I just have to ask louder. I once met a golden named Max. His owner swore he was just big-boned. But Max's hips told another story. Underneath that golden fur was a struggle to climb stairs, a wheeze after short walks. He wasn't overfed out of neglect, he was overfed out of love. So here's a thought: what if every treat you give today could either add a smile or steal a breath from tomorrow? The trick isn't to stop treating, it's to treat with intention. Choose real meat. Count the calories like you'd count for yourself. Reward calm, not chaos. Because love isn't measured in snacks, it's measured in years together. And speaking of love that backfires, wait until you hear what mistake number 9 is. It's something every golden owner does on their way to the park. Let's move on to number 9, the car window myth. You've seen it 1,000 times, that perfect picture of freedom. Your golden's head out the window, ears flying, tongue out, eyes closed in pure joy. It's beautiful, isn't it? The wind, the sunlight, that little moment of happiness between errands. But here's the truth: most owners never think about that moment could change everything in a heartbeat. A single pebble smaller than your thumbnail can fly from the car ahead and hit your dog's eye at 60 miles an hour. 1 second of bliss, and suddenly you're rushing to the vet with a dog who can't see the hand that fed him. I've met goldens, like that, loyal, gentle souls who just wanted to feel the wind one more time. Their owners never meant harm. They just wanted to give joy. And maybe that's the hardest part. The things that feel most like love can sometimes carry the deepest risks. So here's the question: when your golden leans toward that open window, do they really want freedom? Or do they just want to feel the world beside you? Keep the window cracked for the scent, not the sprint. Buckle them safely. Talk to them, let your voice be their breeze. Because the best kind of freedom isn't the kind that risks losing it forever. It's the kind that stays right by your side. And if you thought this one was scary, number 8 is worse, because it's not about wind or wheels, but what happens the moment the leash comes off. Let's move on to number 8, the off-leash illusion. You think you know you're golden. They always come when called, they never run far, and everyone says they're the friendliest dog on the block. So one sunny morning at the park, you unclip the leash just for a minute and watch them gallop across the grass like they were born to be free. It feels right, doesn't it? that joy, that trust. But here's the secret. Every seasoned trainer knows. Freedom without boundaries can turn into heartbreak in a single heartbeat. Maybe it's a squirrel, a passing jogger, or another dog that doesn't play nice. Maybe it's a car that wasn't there a second ago. I've seen it happen, that flash of fur, the panic, the scream of tires. It's never malice, never neglect. It's love mixed with overconfidence. We forget that instinct doesn't take instructions, it takes over. And here's the part that stings. Your golden doesn't understand safe. They understand you. When you unclip that leash, they think you've said, "Go ahead, I've got you." But you can't catch what runs faster than love itself. So ask yourself this: what's more beautiful, watching them run wild for a few seconds, or watching them grow old beside you for years? Clip the leash. Train the recall. Let freedom earn its place. Because number 7 will make you realize danger doesn't always come from outside. Sometimes it starts with your own voice. Let's move on to number 7, the punishment trap. Picture this: your golden has chewed your favorite shoe again. The anger rises before you can stop it. You yell, maybe slam a hand on the table, and they freeze, eyes wide, tail tucked, heart pounding. For a split second, you feel like you've won. But what if that silence isn't obedience? It's fear. What if in that moment you didn't correct your dog? You broke a tiny piece of their trust. Golden retrievers are people pleasers. They live to see your smile, to hear that good boy that makes their world spin right. When we punish them harshly, even once, it's like cracking the glass of a stained window. You can fix it, but it never shines quite the same. I once met a rescue golden named Bailey. He flinched every time someone raised a hand, not because he was bad, but because he'd learned that love could change its tone in a second. So here's the real question. Do you want your dog to listen out of fear, or to choose you out of love? Positive reinforcement isn't just about treats. It's about teaching them that calm brings connection, and mistakes don't mean the end of safety. Next time they mess up, breathe first. Because the real power isn't in control, it's in patience. And speaking of control, number 6 reveals the one thing that makes even the happiest Goldens slowly fall apart from the inside out. Let's move on to number 6, the weight of love. You scoop another cup of food into the bowl, maybe just a little extra. Those pleading eyes, that gentle tail wag, it's impossible to resist. He looks hungry, you tell yourself. One more scoop won't hurt. But what if that small act of kindness is slowly weighing your golden down one bite at a time? Overfeeding doesn't always show at first. It starts with slower walks, heavier breathing, the sigh when they try to stand after a nap. Their fur still shines, their eyes still sparkle. So we tell ourselves they're fine. But inside, their joints ache like rusted hinges, and their heart works harder than it should. I've met Goldens whose bodies aged faster than their spirits' dogs, who still wanted to run, but their legs whispered, "Not today." Here's the truth. Food isn't love. Presence is. Your golden doesn't crave more kibble. They crave more time with you. Measure their meals, trade snacks for fetch, and let movement be the reward. Because every pound you spare them today is an extra day they'll spend by your side tomorrow. So next time those eyes beg for more, remember, love that lasts doesn't come from a full bowl, but from a healthy heart. And if you think food is the only thing they're missing, wait until number 5, where we uncover the one kind of exercise almost every golden is starving for, but can't ask you to give. Let's move on to number 5, the forgotten workout. Every day you take your golden for a walk. Same route, same pace, same leash tug when they stop to sniff the grass too long. You come home thinking, good they got their exercise. But what if I told you your Golden's body might be tired, yet their mind is starving? Golden Retrievers are one of the smartest breeds in the world. They were bred to work beside humans, to think, to decide, to solve. When their brain sits idle, it's like a car engine left running in Park Energy Building with nowhere to go. That's when the barking starts, the chewing, the restless pacing. Not because they're bad, but because they're bored. I remember a Golden named Daisy. She'd destroyed 3 couches, 2 shoes, and 1 remote control. Her owner was exhausted, convinced she was impossible to train. But when we added puzzle feeders, nose games, and short obedience drills to her routine, the chaos stopped. Her eyes changed sharper, calmer, more focused. It wasn't just play, it was purpose. Your Golden doesn't only need miles under their paws, they need missions for their mind. Hide treats in the backyard. Teach them names of their toys. Let them search for you in another room. Every challenge you give becomes a silent conversation that says, I trust you to think. So ask yourself, when was the last time you let your Golden solve something instead of just follow? Because tired legs make a quiet dog, but a tired mind makes a peaceful one. And speaking of peace, number 4 will surprise you. It's about the daily routine that feels healthy, but might actually be holding your Golden back from true happiness. Let's move on to number 4, the walk that isn't enough. You grab the leash, your Golden spins in circles, tail wagging like a metronome set to joy. You walk the same block, pass the same mailboxes, wave at the same neighbor. 10, maybe 15 minutes, then home for breakfast. You smile, thinking, good, that's their exercise for the day. But what if that walk, that daily ritual you've mastered, is only scratching the surface of what they truly need? A walk around the block is routine, not adventure. It's like reading the same page of a book every single day, comforting, sure, but never satisfying. Your Golden's body needs motion, yes, but their spirit craves exploration. They were born to follow scent trails, chase sounds, and taste the air for stories only their nose can read. To them, the world is a library, and each scent is a chapter we never let them finish. I met a retired couple once, both in their 70s, with a Golden named Charlie. Every morning, they'd drive him to a nearby field clip on a long line and let him roam. Watching him run through the tall grass wasn't just good for him, it healed them. Their laughter came back, their steps got lighter. Charlie's joy had become theirs again. So here's the real question, is your walk for their body or for their soul? Try a new route. Let them sniff longer. Find a place where they can stretch their instincts, not just their legs. Because a Golden that only walks the same circle never truly runs free inside. And if you think that's powerful, wait until number 3, where we uncover the mistake that happens right under your arm every single time you pick up the leash. Let's move on to number 3. The leash lesson you never learned. It starts the same way every time. You grab the leash, and your Golden is already dancing, pulling, spinning, eager to lead the way. You laugh, maybe roll your eyes and think, that's just how they are. But what if that moment, right before you even open the door, is when your Golden is training you instead? Every tug on the leash is a conversation. When they pull and you follow, you're not walking your dog, you're agreeing to their terms. And it's not disobedience, it's misunderstanding. They don't know they're doing wrong, they just know it works. The world rewards them every tree, every stranger, every new smell, all waiting at the end of that pull. To your Golden, pulling means progress. To you, it feels like chaos. but in their mind, it's victory. I met a man once with a golden named Buddy. For 6 years, Buddy had dragged him down sidewalks until his shoulders ached. One day, I asked him to stop walking whenever Buddy pulled. It took patience, 5 steps forward, 3 steps back, but then it happened. Buddy turned, looked up, and waited. His tail wagged slowly, not wildly. It wasn't a battle anymore. It was a partnership. So here's the secret. Your golden doesn't need dominance. They need direction. Be the calm in their storm. Let the leash be a line of trust, not tension. Because when your dog walks beside you by choice, not force, that's when the bond becomes unbreakable. And if you think leash manners are tricky, number 2 will hit closer to home. It's something we all do with good intentions, and it might be the very reason your golden keeps misbehaving. Let's move on to number 2, the praise that backfires. You walk through the door after a long day, and there they are, your golden spinning jumping paws on your chest tail, whipping the air like a flag of love. You can't help but smile. You miss them too. You bend down, rub their head, whisper, "Good boy." It feels perfect, doesn't it? But what if that moment of affection is quietly teaching them the wrong lesson, that chaos equals connection? Golden retrievers crave your approval, like sunlight. Every pat, every smile, every soft word is a spark that shapes how they behave. When we reward their excitement instead of their calm, we're saying, "Jump higher, bark louder. I'll love you more." It's never meant to spoil them, it's instinct. We respond to joy with love. But for your golden, it becomes a map. Wild energy leads to affection. I once visited a home where a sweet golden named Luna would launch herself at anyone who walked in. Her owners thought it was adorable. Guests didn't, but when they started greeting her only after she sat quietly, something magical happened. Luna still wagged her tail, but she waited. That waiting became her new way to say, "I love you." So ask yourself, are you praising peace or paying attention to noise? The trick isn't to stop loving them, it's to love wisely. Notice their calm reward, their stillness. Teach them that serenity brings your smile faster than frenzy ever could. And that brings us to number 1, the most heartbreaking habit of all. It's something done with love, but it can quietly steal years from the bond you cherish most. Let's move on to number 1, the loving mistake. It happens quietly, like a habit stitched into every day. You look into those trusting brown eyes, see that golden fur glowing in the sunlight, and you think, "I'd do anything for you." So you give them everything: food, when they ask, play, when they whine, comfort, when they misbehave. You become their whole world. But here's the heartbreak. Sometimes too much love can take away the very structure that keeps them safe. Golden retrievers are gentle souls, but they're also students of consistency. When every rule bends for love, their world turns blurry. They don't know when to listen, when to wait, or what no really means. It's not disobedience, it's confusion. You see it in the way they stare at you after doing something wrong, tail wagging slowly, eyes searching for forgiveness instead of understanding. I met a woman once whose golden Cooper followed her everywhere, every room, every step, every sigh. He adored her, but he couldn't be alone. The moment she left the house, he cried, paced, clawed the door until his paws bled. Not because he was spoiled, but because he'd never learned how to exist without her heartbeat nearby. Love should build strength, not dependence. Boundaries aren't walls. They're the fences that protect your bond from falling apart. Teach them patience. Let them wait. Let them rest. Let them learn that love still exists, even when you're not in the room. Because at the end of the day, your golden doesn't need a perfect owner. They need a steady one. Someone whose love doesn't flood, but flows calm, constant, and kind. And as we close this list, remember, the best kind of love isn't the loudest. It's the one that quietly keeps them by your side for years to come. And that brings us to the end of our countdown, 10 small habits, each born from love, each carrying lessons that reach deeper than obedience. Maybe, as you listened, you saw a bit of yourself in every story, the extra treat, the open window, the gentle good boy whispered at the wrong time. But that's okay, because loving a golden retriever isn't about being perfect. It's about learning while loving. Your golden doesn't need flawless training or endless attention. What they truly crave is your presence, your calm voice, your patient hands, your willingness to understand their language of loyalty and joy. Every boundary you set, every moment you slow down before reacting, becomes a gift that tells them, I see you. I want you to thrive, not just survive. One day, years from now, you'll look into that white-muzzled face and realize something powerful. Every small change you made today added time, health, and peace to their life. That's the kind of love that lasts beyond words. So if you want to keep learning how to give your golden retriever the happiest, healthiest years possible, stay with us. Subscribe to this channel and join a community that loves deeper trains, wiser, and celebrates every heartbeat of these incredible dogs. Because here, we don't just talk about dogs, we honor the love that makes them family.